Hi, I'm Bobby Dean, and you're watching Dante's
Boxing Nation.
Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So, I wanted to wait before I made a video on this news because I wanted to make sure it was official that Tioimo Lopez, he really did turn down the Devin Haney fight. And now we know that it's official because Devin Haney himself has completely confirmed it. Not only did Devin Haney confirm it, but it looks like Tioimo's own advisors confirmed it as well, which I'm going to show you guys the receipts. So this is the first post that Devin Haney put out. He said, the fight with Tio is not signed. I signed my part and Tio been stalling. As of today, he has decided he doesn't want to fight me. He is officially the biggest duck. And I wanted to fight at 147. He wanted to fight at 140. We negotiated to meet at 145, even though he was willing to fight Boots at 147. Guys, this is so funny because that was my first time reading that whole post as I'm reading it to you guys right now. And I was already going to make this point in my video. See, because before I did this video, I read the screenshot, but I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't read that last part where he says, but he was willing to fight Boots at 147. I say it's funny because that was the main point that I was going to make in my video. Wait a minute. He's not willing to fight Haney at 145, but he claims that he wanted to fight Boots at 147? This is not adding up. Then Bill Haney, he shares this post of what appears to be either Tio's manager or advisor. And it says, this to gently advise you that Tioimo Lopez has withdrawn from the fight, as we'd like to thank you for your efforts and professionalism throughout the process. But it gets much worse for Tio, because then there were talks that he was offered $11 million to fight Devin Haney. And Tio has admitted on several occasions that he has never made over $1 million. So regardless, even if that $11 million offer is a little off, like let's say it was really only $8 million, right? It still wouldn't matter because it would still be 8 times more than what Tio has ever made in his entire career. This is a really bad look for Tio, and it's really hard for him to justify this because there is no fight as big as this one right now for Tio, and there's no payday as big as this one for Tio. So I guess this means he's going to go back to fighting the Steve Claggets and Jermaine Ortiz's. It's really a shame because this is the man who said that these black fighters, maybe they're afraid of losing to a Latino. Tio, he actually said that, and it wasn't even that long ago. And Oscar, he came out and he put his 2 cents in. And I tell you, man, Oscar, he's so funny. And I don't mean that in a good way. He's so funny in the most hypocritical way because he comes out responding to Devin Haney. He says Devin Haney is calling Tio a duck. More like Tio is smart to not fight a runner who has less fans than Diddy does. Man, there are just so many violations in that little small post that Oscar De La Hoya put up. But before I unpack it, let me go ahead and read what Dan Rafael said in response. He said, if Oscar believes this, okay, then Lopez should not have accepted the fight in the first place. But he did. When it comes to Oscar, I've been telling you guys for over 10 years, the most dangerous weapon in the world is a microphone and a camera. And sometimes it seems like people like Oscar forget that cameras and microphones even exist, even though he's in front of them all the time. When Oscar talks about running, what Oscar did against Tito Trinidad is exactly what race fans would call running, to a T. Oscar did nothing but constantly move in that fight, and he would admit afterwards he did it because of Tito Trinidad's power. But the crazy thing is Oscar had power too, but he didn't have the confidence that Tito Trinidad had with his power. Trinidad, he made Oscar De La Hoya change his whole style. In fact, the last 2 or 3 rounds, Oscar didn't even throw punches. He literally moved around the ring, not even throwing a punch. That's how afraid he was of Tito Trinidad. And then right after Oscar lost to Trinidad, Larry Merchant, he asked him, he said, do you regret fighting like that? And Oscar said, no, not at all. Man, I put on a boxing clinic. His exact words. It wasn't running to him. He was proud of what he had did in the ring that night. And then Oscar talks about Devin Haney having less fans than Diddy. When it was Devin Haney that was filling up basketball arenas, While Tioimo Lopez, he was fighting in small-ass ballrooms and a lot of times didn't even sell them out. Tio has never, ever been a draw, which is the reason why he was only making $1 million. He was making way less than Devin, Shakur, and Gervonta Tank Davis, and it killed him so much. And one more point about Oscar De La Hoya. Man, Oscar, you a fool for bringing up Diddy. Any type of Diddy jokes you should stay away from when it comes to your past. Now, going back to Tio, I'm thinking that if he is smart, he'll go after Richardson Hitchens. I think, honestly, Hitchens would actually be the most beatable fighter for him, if I'm being honest. I don't like the way Hitchens has looked. Hitchens has not looked like a complete fighter to me, even in his last fight against Liam Paro. He gave up the first 4 or 5 rounds in that fight. I remember his trainer was extremely frustrated because Hitchens would stand in front of him the whole round and he wouldn't let his hands go. And even when he started to take over the fight, he still looked like a limited fighter because all he was really trying to land was the right hand. He's fighting against a southpaw, and the main punches to throw against a southpaw is the right hand and the left hook. Well, he wasn't using the left hook that much. He wasn't going to Liam Paro's body that much. I feel he could have stopped Liam Paro, but Hitchens did not know how to put his punches together. So I wasn't impressed with Hitchens' performance against Liam Paro. He didn't look good against Don Lemos, and even against Jose Zepeda, it was a decent performance, but compared to what Regis Prograis did to Jose Zepeda, it made Hitchens' performance look even more average. So I'm not saying Tio beats Hitchens, but I believe that Hitchens is the weakest link right now. I believe Alberto Puello, he would be a nightmare for Tioimo. And Gary Russell, he would beat Tioimo. Hitchens is the only one that I'm not sure about. So with that being said, we'll see what Tio decides to do, and we'll see what Devin Haney decides to do. If he's just going to go ahead and just make that full move to 147. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.